If you found this talk interesting, and let me tell you, you've just dipped your toes in it, because the final session of the conference is going to be a very comprehensive one, and it is a very special session with research institutions, and that session will be chaired by Mr. Goyal himself. So I do hope that all of you stay with us till the final session of the day today, which promises to be a very interesting session, followed by an informal roundtable discussion between the institution representatives and the industry, of course. With this, it's time for me to move to the first panel of the day. As we start with our session 1, which is India Silver Jewellery, and we talk about accelerating growth, I would like to first invite on stage the session's chairperson. Our session's chairperson is a seasoned expert in bullion and treasury management, presently holding the position of head of bullion and treasury at Malabar Group. He has demonstrated a profound understanding of financial markets, particularly in intricate domains of precious metals and treasury operations, and throughout his tenure at Malabar, he has played a pivotal role in driving the company's bullion and treasury functions towards new heights of efficiency and profitability. Renowned for his integrity, vision, and commitment to positive change within the industry, he is very widely respected for his ability to foster strong relationships with clients, stakeholders, and team members. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands up as I invite on the stage the session's chairperson, Mr. Dileep Narayanan, the head bullion and treasury for Malabar Gold. As Mr. Narayanan walks up, you can see we have digital placards, place cards already. Kindly take your seats accordingly. Our other panelists this morning are the chairman for Dwarka Gems and the convener for Silver Panel, GJEPC, Mr. Krishna B. Goyal. Let's have a round of applause for Mr. Krishna Goyal, sir. Inviting next up the director for Manmohan Exports, Mr. Vinayak Dhingra. Next up, joining us on stage will be the CEO and the whole-time director of P.N. Gadgil and Sons, Mr. Amit Modak. Welcome back, sir. And finally, inviting on stage the head of Asian Development Responsible Jewellery Council, Mr. Kinjal Shah. As I hand over this session to Mr. Dileep Narayanan, ladies and gentlemen, let me yet again remind you, Slido is open. Continue to post your questions, comments, and observations as the moderator takes them up towards the end of the session.
So, yeah. So, welcome to India Silver Conference. As introduced, I'm Dileep, head of Bullion and Treasury for Malabar Group. This is the first ever conference, Silver Conference, which Malabar is, on behalf of Malabar, I'm attending. And first of all, congratulations, Srivastava, for 25 years of successfully conducting very informative conferences. I go back right from my Scotia times. I've been attending these conferences and it's been very, very informative. So congratulations once again to you. I welcome the speakers. Firstly, we have a packed agenda, so I kindly ask everyone to keep their contributions and keep it concise. And I think the speakers also have a few presentations. So I would invite Mr. Dhingra to start your presentation first, and then we can take up the questions on after that.
Thank you so much. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much, Dileep sir, for introducing us, and thank you to the India Silver Conference and sir and the entire industry for having such a constructive setup here for all the discussions that are taking place. Even sir's session that we just attended had so many things just for the small things such as casting and how it causes a decay in casting as well because of metal impurities. So it's an amazing platform, and I would like to now give my 2 cents on how to accelerate growth in silver jewelry industry. Although there are so many people who are much more learned than me, but I would like to represent our company and as well as how we are a part of this industry. So thank you so much again, and I would like to start. So first of all, what comes to your mind when you think of silver jewelry? Generally, this is the expectation when we think of silver jewelry, that this is what silver jewelry is. And what is the kind of innovation that is happening currently in silver jewelry? So the reality at the moment is that this kind of jewelry that is exactly looking like gold is being made in silver. So if you see, all these products are being innovated every day by hundreds of manufacturers across the country. And as we were speaking yesterday in the conference, that gold has been rallied and people started running behind silver. The same way in gold jewelry, people have now started moving towards silver, and a lot of brides and bridesmaids, like the entire family now thinks that it's much more smarter to buy silver jewelry than gold jewelry. But how do we again accelerate the growth and take it forward? So I think there are two main points to accelerate the growth of silver jewelry, and one is by creating demand. But how? How do you create more demand? So demand can be created by educating the consumer. The consumer is not very well educated, as silver was always taken care of by the artifacts, the articles, the utensils, and all those things. So silver jewelry demand was never there, and the silver jewelry demand was not being able to increase because the consumer is not educated. Then there are so many corporates. Yesterday I was having a conversation with Amit sir, and he was telling me that they have started a specific silver jewelry brand. GRT Jewelers has started Oriana. AVR Swarn Mahal of Tamil Nadu has started Vendi. So there are so many corporates also now starting specific silver jewelry brands, and that is how creating silver jewelry demand happens. Then there are so many specific silver jewelry retail corporates that are coming up. Other than that, there is one more thing that is most important. For example, if you're a gold jeweler and someone comes to you and asks for a 10 lakh rupee necklace and buys, that is the bride. The budget is set aside for the bride. But what about the bride's mother, bride's sister, all the other family members? Where do they go? They would end up going in a fashion or a silver jewelry store to cater to their needs. So this is what is happening currently. So to create more demand, we need to educate the consumer. Then platforms like Silver Show of India are happening. That is actually helping us create more demand. So now once we've created the demand, how do we actually cater to the demand? We have to cater it by stocking silver jewelry as a retailer. But again, what is the benefit? What is in it for us? Why do we stock more silver jewelry as a retailer? So when I talk about stocking silver jewelry, I don't only mean that you stock, see, everyone is stocking at least piles in terms of silver jewelry, or articles in terms of silver jewelry, and utensils in terms of silver jewelry. But why don't you stock gold plated silver jewelry as well? Because that is going to actually be more price efficient. If you buy 10 lakhs worth of inventory in gold versus you buy 10 lakhs worth of inventory in silver, it's a huge difference. You get much more items. Secondly, the customer does not go anywhere else. The customer is going to be with you and also be loyal to you, because you're going to cater to the entire family and not just the person buying gold. Then also it is easier to store. Imagine storing 1 kg of gold versus 1 kg of silver jewelry. The security concerns and everything is much lesser. Thank you. Other than that, even for gifting, now if someone comes to you and is wanting to have something to gift to them, their family or friends, silver is the most preferred metal that people have in their mind when they want to gift. But other than articles and everything, jewelry gifting is not very big currently, and that needs to be increased. This is going to be a major role in accelerating the growth of silver jewelry industry. Lastly, I would like to show you the kind of silver jewelry we are making, and the industry is also making, and that is going to tell you how this entire industry is growing. And this is the kind of silver jewelry that is being made, which is next to real, and no one can actually tell if it's silver or gold. And that's the point, wherein we need to drive the demand by accelerating growth. And the industry is amazing, and I would like to also thank GJEPC for awarding us last year for Woman Entrepreneur of the Year, for the innovation, that the kind of things we've done in silver jewelry. And we look forward to accelerating growth throughout our tenure in the silver jewelry industry. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Dhingra. I request now Mr. Kinjal to have a small, precise presentation on RJC.
Thank you very much, Dileep. Thanks, sir, for inviting me. I've been given this very kind opportunity to speak to with every one of you. I just want to start my presentation by asking how many of the people sitting in this room are the member of RJC? Do we have any member of RJC? I know. There are few members over a phone. Okay, so perfect. I can very proudly say that we have few of the RJC's directors, elected directors also sitting in RJC in this room, and one of them is Mr. Ankur, who has just presented his very technical talk. So with that said, I would like to start soon. I can clearly see that I have a huge scope in this room because there are very few members. There are a lot of people knows about RJC, but now I want to just go through and give a short brief about RJC. Perfect. So RJC is Responsible Jewellery Council. We are the not-for-profit organization based in the UK, but we are more of an international organization. We were founded by 14 founding members of the industry leaders, and that was like in 2005. And today we are around 1,800 plus members. Our major motive and goal and values, we are here to ensure that consumers' trust in watch and jewelry industry, will remain intact. And how we are going to do that? We are going to do that by creating a world-based standard. Why I'm telling this world-based standard? Because RJC, Responsible Jewellery Council, is the only organization who has standards on ethical business practices from mines to retail. So anyone and everyone, those who are into supply chain, jewelry supply chain, which covers mainly gold, silver and platinum metal, diamonds and color gemstone. Color gemstones we currently cover only emerald, ruby and sapphire. This all 5 streams, anyone at any given point of time, if you are into jewelry segment, if you are into supply chain, you can join RJC. So how we do that? We do that by, we have created a world-class standards. I can very proudly say that our standards, ethical business practices standards, are made by industry for industry. So as I have said that Mr. Ankur is one of the board of directors. Similarly, we have standards committee from the industry elected and selected people, those who are experts in standards and policy making and all, and they contribute to creating a standards along with our open consultation tool and our team, those who are actually working in RJC. So we have 2 standards. One is code of practices, which mainly focuses on management ethical business practices, which is a mandatory standard. So anyone and everyone who joins RJC, they have to comply under code of practices. Another standard is chain of custody, which standards basically talks about pipeline integrity and traceability of the standards, and this is the standard right now in too much fashion. So everyone is talking about that, world is talking about chain of custody, and where and how that will go through, in our next slides. This is something which is very, very important. I'm not going to speak it through, but this is not I'm telling. This has been, told by McKinsey. So McKinsey confirms that, anyone, globally by 2025, 20 to 30% global fine jewelry sales will be influenced by sustainability consideration. So even right now, it's been considered on sustainability parameters. I know it is very less in Asia or India, but eventually you are going to see it more and more. So just to give you a brief, as I've said, we have 1,850 plus members, out of which I can very proudly say 65% members are smaller companies, but I know everyone wants to achieve the top. So that's why I've listed the top companies, those who are right now in membership with RJC, which very clearly mentioned there. It's LVMH, it's Signet, Michael Hill, Hermes, Gucci, Signet, Tiffany, and lot of other companies are there. So as of now, what is our coverage in India? Because we are sitting in India, so We have around 250 plus members in India, out of which we have 99 companies, those who are into silver, jewelry and watch manufacturing segment, and 133 companies, those who are into diamond cut, traders, cutters, polishers category, and 10 precious metal and gold refiners are our members. Why I'm putting you this, making you aware with this numbers, it's mainly because, worldwide out of 1800 members, we have 782 members, those who are having a silver scope in their activities, and in India we have 88 companies, those who are having silver in their, in their activities. And these are some major brands like Pandora, Prada and all. They very clearly claim that they are only working with RJC clients and RJC vendors, but we'll go through that later on. With that said, thank you very much. I would like to conclude.
Thank you, Kinjal. That was very quite informative in terms of our responsible sourcing is concerned. So let's dive into the questions now. My first question is to Mr. Krishna Goyal, sir. Sir, Indian silver jewelry demand in 2023, both the silver supply and obviously the demand was not there, silver jewelry demand has declined. So what are the major factors that affected both supply and demand, and what's your opinion on the silver jewelry market demand in the near future?
You see, basically, major reason for the decline in demand, A, is the hike in duty, which has put pressure on the silver prices. B, there was a lower demands even from the export side of jewelry because of the Ukraine and Russia, and now with Israel and Hamas, So all this unrest saw a lower demand from importing countries as well. So these are the major factors actually which I see have
been
impacted the demand.
So do you think that the future in 2024 or near future the growth would be there for silver jewelry, or?
You see, I think because now when something goes for very long, people start settling down. That panic is for a while. So in 2024, I see a robust demand. We certainly need some changes or some policy change from the government, which can really help us to grow a lot.
Thank you. So my next question is about hallmarking, and my question is to Mr. Amit ji. Sir, hallmarking of silver jewelry, unlike gold, silver jewelry and silverware in market is about 60% to 75%, if I'm not wrong, which is not known by the customers. Do you think that the hallmarking in silver jewelry will play a vital role in shaping the silver jewelry industry with respect to the purity? There is also a question from the Slido, but I would like to take it from you first, and then I'll go to the.
Basically, when fashion jewelry and silver jewelry coincide with each other, that silver jewelry is generally of 9 to 5 purity,
Right.
92.5. So if there is a one standard that 9 to 5 silver jewelry will be there in the market for the fashion jewelry segment or the silver jewelry segment, that single purity hallmarking is very much easy, because at the manufacturing end they themselves will hallmark it, just like in gold we are looking that many manufacturers only are hallmarking and not the retailers or the retail chains. So 9 to 5 hallmarking is not an impossible thing, and moreover there are, if I want to take a name, Amazon. Amazon doesn't accept any silver jewelry which is not hallmark. They insist for hallmarking. If people are insisting for online hallmarking jewelry, hallmark jewelry, then why not for the local market?
Right.
So local market also it is possible. Only thing that cost of hallmarking is little bit higher as compared to the base price,
Right.
which is included in that
Right.
silver item. As it is in gold, gold price itself is very high, and that hallmarking cost is very low as compared to the total component of that jewelry item. So, but it will give the confidence to the buyer, even though that content of the weight is very small, but still buyer will have one more comfort that yes, it's hallmark. So if the retailer is saying 925 or manufacturer is saying 925, it will be 925 purity only. It is hardly 2 or 3 gram or 5-10 grams silver in that single item, but still comfort is there, and that comfort will definitely play a good positive role in this silver jewelry market.
So would you push it like what the question is from Fido, is that compulsory hallmarking of silver jewelry is necessary for sustaining the growth of Indian silver jewelry? What is your take on that?
Silver jewelry is mainly, as I said, it's a fashion jewelry, and fashion jewelry market, if we look in the Indian market scenario, as on date, it is more than 90% in unorganized sector or 95% in unorganized sector. So for them, it will be a taxing, because they are sourcing from many manufacturers which are not following the ethical practices, which are not following about the hard and fast purity standards and all these things. Just 5-7% who are organized players and who want to create their brand with some standard, they will definitely accept it. And I don't feel that government should make it compulsory. If it is a jewelry, I am not talking about the trays or bowls or the artifacts and all these things, or the pile and all these things. But for the silver jewelry, if you are selling it as a silver jewelry, like a necklace, bracelet, finger rings, and this kind of jhumka, hallmarking, I think, will play a vital role and give confidence to the customer regarding the purity which is contained. Because many people say if you get 40% silver in the silver item, you are lucky. Means that kind of talks are there in the market, that getting 40% purity in the item itself is a luckiness. So if you give the standardization 80, 82, 92, 5, and that is marked on it as a hallmark or the marking of the purity, people will be definitely happy.
Thank you, sir. I can see almost 86% of the delegates have voted for agreeing to hallmarking from the Slido, and 14% do not agree. Anyway, we had a long chat yesterday. I'll come back to those couple of questions which I have for you. Coming to Mr. Dhingra, export. Now, export silver jewelry, what are the challenges you face? What are the Indian exporters facing the challenges as far as silver jewelry exports are concerned?
Thank you, Dileep. So I think major challenges that exporters face is hedging of silver prices, in which, for example, if an order is booked and then it is produced, that is one major challenge that exporters face, and I think sir would agree with me. Then there is another challenge that we feel that the duty drawback has been the same since a lot of years, and they are not increasing, and the increase has not been very significant as compared to the other things. And there are, I think, majorly these two things that we face on a day-to-day basis.
I can see sir.
I think Krishna sir wants to add something.
I can see sir smiling a bit. I think he wants to add more. Sir, while you add, I also would like to ask you a question on the government support, because that's something which is equivalent to what he asked. Is there any government initiatives to support the silver jewelry industry in terms of exports and both imports?
You see, basically duty drawback was revised by the government a while back. It used to be 4,300 rupees per kg, which has been increased to about 8,000 rupees per kg. But the issue is that it is never at par with the international standards. So Indian industry is never competitive, because silver ki price jo badh gayi. So what government needs to do, which we are pursuing from GJEPC, is to do it as ad valorem. Because whatever duty is being charged has to be reimbursed to us when we are exporting. So this is one very big challenge. Another challenge is that the process of clearing the GR forms. Today, lot of business, e-commerce, we cannot ignore the e-commerce platforms today. So while exporting, the GR form clearance takes so many process steps, which is really a hindrance for a SME exporter. You see, until unless we do not motivate our smallest artisan export, the growth will not come. We have good craftsmanship. Indian handmade jewelry has been appreciated everywhere, but these policy hindrances are big issues for SMEs.
I agree. Fine, sir. We will talk about this offline more. Coming back to Mr. Kinjal, your RJC's, the presentation was very precise and very clear about the role of RJC in the industry. Nowadays, major companies are more towards recycled jewelry, recycled silver rather. What is the main reason behind that, and how RJC can help jewelry companies to implement this?
Yeah, so very nice question. See, recycle jewelry is right now, too much in demand, and the demand is basically coming out from all the top major brands and retailers across the globe. And why they are talking about recycled silver, which has a clear connection with the statement which I have put down in my presentation, which was a statement from McKinsey, that by 2025 more and more companies, more and more consumers are going to basically define or log their buying decision by the sustainability criteria. So it has everything to do with sustainability. We probably sitting in here kind of we are less aware about what's going on outside the business, and over there everyone is talking about how sustainable we are. Means it has everything to do with what kind of earth we are going to give it to our next generation. So recycle is, it's why is recycle mainly because all these major brands don't want to encourage mining lot, because whenever you are mining, you are digging the earth, and ultimately you are disturbing the nature which has been given by God to us. So they are putting more focus on how companies can use the gold or silver or any metal which is already available on the earth. So that is the reason why companies are asking for recycled silver, recycled metal. And all major brands, in my presentation also I have written, like Pandora has very recently announced that they are only going to source recycled silver, and they are only going to sell recycled silver jewelry from now onwards. So why is that? Because they are very concerned about their carbon footprint, what carbon footprint they generate, and they don't want to create more carbon footprint, because if they source from the mine silver, carbon footprint is going to be very high, and they want to neutralize it.
Okay.
So that's the main reason.
Thank you. Okay. Sir, coming back to Amitji, coming back to you on our conversations we had offline, and two questions to you, sir. One is, it's a combined question. One is, how do this keep up with this new generation on this new silver jewelry? Of course, Mr. Vinayak showed a few silver jewelry, which was astonishing. And now that gold at this kind of level, I mean, silver is considered as poor man's gold. So what's your take on that?
If I am not wrong, during 1970 and 1980, that decade, gold was costing somewhere 600 to 900 rupees per 10 gram. Today that is the price for the silver. So in 50 years time, that gold price is catched by the silver of that time. Earlier it was called as a poor man's gold, now it is called as a common man's gold. With the rising gold prices, now it is called as a common man's gold. The new generation, if you go with the age level of 20 to 35, who are the employed, self-employed, or just married or likely to be married, that kind of class is there. They want to buy design and fashion, lifestyle. They are not interested what cost or what contents are there. They want to have that fashion, item, lifestyle, design. And if you compare today's gold price, say 70,000 rupees per 10 gram, and if certain item is valuing some 15 gram of the gold with the making charge some 1,25,000 somewhere, 3% GST of that will be somewhere 4,000 rupees. And if he or she, the young guy, go for the silver jewelry of the same kind of the design as Vinayak ji has shown us various designs which are similar to the gold jewelry design, and if those are costing in the retail market somewhere 5,000, 6,000 rupees, which is near to that GST cost of that original gold item. In gold item also, whenever you will remake it for new design, new fashion, that GST is going to be lapsed, it is not going to be recovered. Here, that cost is going to be lapsed if you want to buy the new thing. But that principle will be in your pocket, and young generation were more and more disposable in their pocket while completing their aspiration of the wearing the latest design, latest things. And silver jewelry or this fashion jewelry is mainly a wardrobe jewelry. Ladies are buying new dresses, new attires. Along with that, they are also buying the jewelry. When they will change the dress, they will change the jewelry also. So it's a very growing market, it's an attractive market, a price competitive market. And young generation, जिनको भी एक liking है to wear the latest thing, this is the only option remaining with them with considering the gold price. And I'm not saying that gold market, it will get totally replaced with the silver jewelry market or the fashion jewelry market. Because if somebody is coming to the shop of plain gold and that shop itself is selling the fashion jewelry also, if that person is coming to shop with mindset that I will buy 1,50,000, 2 lakh rupees necklace for my wife or my daughter, all of a sudden after entering the shop, he will not change his mind, because that time he is there for buying that precious metal necklace or precious metal some ornament. So he or she will definitely buy that plain gold jewelry only. But if he or she want to buy some design or fashion or lifestyle at an affordable cost, then he or she will definitely go to the fashion jewelry, and that fashion jewelry market is likely to grow as per my thought process. In next 5 years time, it will grow at least by 3 to 4 times what it is right now.
Wow, that's a astonishing number.
Right now, as I said, it is hardly 5% in organized sector. As Vinayak ji said or Goyal ji said, many corporates, or you yourself have mentioned, many corporates are entering in the fashion jewelry market, silver jewelry market. This jewelry in organized sector shift will be from 5% to 10 to 15%, and that will be almost 200-300% growth in the organized sector, and that will give a good presence in the market, because the small people who are the nukkad or chowpar people, they are not thinking about the purity and responsible sourcing, sustainability and all these things. They are buying just some fashion jewelry where their content of the silver is at 20, 30, 40, 50%. But when it will come to the branded and organized market, it will be definitely 9 to 5. If it is said 9 to 5, it will be 9 to 5.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Thank you. That's a very positive number. And with this, I will take few questions from the Slido. There are a couple of questions which has come in. The first question is, can lab-grown diamond jewelry be a competition for silver jewelry market? Sir, what's your take on that?
I think they will be complementing each other, because in the way lab-grown diamond prices are falling regularly, so a lot of jewelry, silver jewelry is being made in lab-grown diamonds and being exported. So they will, instead of being in competition, they will be complementing each other and accelerate the growth.
Okay, great. Kinjal, this question is to you. I mean, there are a couple of questions for RJC. One is, how does RJC membership help SME refiners and AHSEs in India? Does RJC COC also check sourcing integrity of silver from mines to market? Does it cover aggregators as well as scrap silver?
So first, absolutely, SMEs, definitely, you know, as I've said in my presentation, we have 1,800 plus members, out of which 65% members are smaller members. And that clearly says that it is helping SMEs, and that is the reason why companies are joining us, and I'm sure that to silver people also it will help, because if you want to probably go to larger brands and directly supply to them, you know, either you have to spend, you know, thousands of dollars to do your marketing and to reach out to those clients, or you have to become a member with RJC, list your name into the RJC membership list, and then, you know, you have to approach that client in a right way to get into their vendor list. So absolutely for SMEs, I see there are two benefits. You know, they raise their standards to the, you know, ultimate international ethical business practices standards, but they also get the business advantage to, you know, they have eligibility to reach out to the larger brands. And yes, the second question is
So sourcing integrity of silver from mines to
sourcing
market.
it. Yeah. So RJC has a provision called Provision 7, which is absolutely talking about OECD due diligence alignment. So and which says that you are absolutely not supposed to source from the conflict affected high risk area. Now that conflict affected high risk area, you as a member, you have to cross check that you are not sourcing from the conflict affected high risk area, and auditor will cross check everything. When the third party auditor comes in, you know, that's the assurance element in RJC. We make companies member, we don't cross check them. There are third party companies, auditors, those who come and conduct audit, and these are, you know, good classy standards audit. You know, they cross check everything. Yes, in certain cases they also check the aggregators, you know, but not necessarily every time. So it depends upon what kind of percentage you are sourcing from that specific clients. Maybe if you are sourcing 80% from one client, and then, you know, you have no visibility from where that client is sourcing, then there are very high chances that auditor will cross check, you know, the aggregators, you know, things also, because it has to be absolutely not from the conflict affected high risk area. But it depends upon case to case. So yes, we do check.
Okay. Thank you, Kinjal. That clarifies the question. One more question, sir. Sir, I will take with Goyal ji and also with Amit, sir. Considering that silver, again, this has been discussed in our panel just now. It's considering that the silver is much lower value than gold. Those silver jewelry retailers have the capacity to have pan-India presence and the net worth as gold.
You see, basically, we have to have out-of-box thinking. While you're comparing gold with silver, is a wrong comparison. If we look today, the biggest net worth is being created by retailers who are selling the garments, who are selling the daily commodity items. So so that valuation doesn't matters, or have no comparison with gold or silver. If we look at all other products, the silver have the same capabilities, because today it's a virgin market. In gold or in garments, we have a lot of competition, but still we don't see any brands or multi-chain stores for silver. So the possibilities are huge, and one can really create big wealth by going strategically to this path.
Thank you. Sir, what's your take, sir? Amit ji?
I would like to add.
Yeah,
after
please,
Amit,
please,
After
please.
Amit, sir.
Yeah.
Goyal ji said if somebody goes with the brand and multi store chain in this business, there are many on the online platform, mainly online
E-commerce.
platform, offline platform nahi hai. But I can tell you proudly, we have got major offline, and we have got 55 chain stores in India. Just 2 years back, we have started this silver jewelry as a brand, PNG as Gadgil Fashion Jewelry. And we are getting really very good response, from 5 crore to 50 crore in 3 years time with the silver jewelry top line. So there is a huge potential for this silver jewelry business. And as he rightly said, gold jewelry and silver jewelry should not compare. I also said in my talk that if somebody has made his mind to buy gold jewelry, he will never get shifted to silver jewelry. But if you find out the class of people who are buying this jewelry mainly, I always say right from age of 15, because many 15, 16 years old boys and girls have got sizable pocket money from their parents, and
Right.
they also can come and buy and shop. It is not necessary that only a responsible high age group people only should come and buy. It's a daily consumable kind of product. It's a consumption product, and so there is a huge scope for this market.
Right.
And market, as I said, it will grow at least 200 to 300% in next 5 years time,
Right.
because we can measure only in the organized sector, and I am talking only about the organized sector. And
Got your point.
there are more and more designs and manufacturing facilities are coming in India. If we go to the Sitapur in Jaipur, there is only silver jewelry, fashion jewelry, and it will go up increasing. And I don't think that only the export is the market. Here in India, 150 crore people are there, and as I said, common man's gold. So if we calculate some more than 100 crore are in the common man's category, then 100 crore people is the market in India itself. So why to see anywhere outside with the duty drawback and all these things? This local market is so big for this fashion jewelry and silver jewelry that we can conquer our total size of the market very shortly.
Fantastic. Yeah, Vinayak, just
Sir
quickly
has
before
actually
we
summed up
conclude.
everything, but I'd just like to add that if we're talking about net worth, we have actually seen a live example, Jiva, that has come up in silver jewelry and has created that kind of money and that kind of wealth in silver. So other than that, Sir has rightly said, silver has a huge potential to be increasing in the next few years, and the kind of jewelry that is being developed and the innovations that are taking place, I think they are tremendous, and everyone is working towards that. In Jaipur especially, people are genuinely working very hard towards silver jewelry as well.
Great, fantastic. So before we conclude, we had put a poll to the audience. Cadmium-free silver jewelry program can effectively be implemented in India through awareness programs to manufacturers. 29% of the polling is yes, and government regulation we've got 29%. It is not possible, 29%. Awareness program to consumers, 14%. So what's your take on that? Goyal ji?
Well, I think it is very much possible. Of course, awareness is needed because, for example, what Vadogi said, that in Sitapura there are a lot of units which are doing silver jewelry.
Right.
They are majorly into exports, and all of them are doing cadmium-free silver jewelry.
I would also like to add that the domestic supply of the silver jewelry that is being made, major manufacturers across India are not making in-house.
Okay.
So all of that jewelry is outsourced with karigars. When it is outsourced with karigars, you are bound to have a leakage of cadmium being added. And that is the, see, when the karigar is melting their silver and adding, the tunch will be 9 to 5. But how do you know that the 7.5 that impurity is going is cadmium and alloy? Until and unless you have it in-house and under your own control, the melting of impurities in the pure silver, you cannot assure. So either you have to have strict setups which are in-house only, where melting is taking place inside the factory, or you have to have some regulation to control those karigars.
I think Amit ji want to add something to it.
Even though we issue the metal to the karagir for making and getting 9 to 5 purity, there are a lot of areas from where we can control what is the remaining 7.5 is, whether it is a cadmium or not. And we can ban those karagirs from next orders and all these things. If we carry out such stricter measures, they will also not dare to lose their business by adding the cadmium instead of any other good alloy which is not harmful to the health or the skin and all these things. So it is not a problem, but major retail chains right now are not doing on their own to issue karagirs and taking the pain to maintain that karagirs accounts and all these things. Mainly they are going with the ethical manufacturers who are maintaining all these ethical practices of 9 to 5 purity with remaining 7.5 ethical alloy or the ethical mixing with to make it 9 to 5 purity.
Fantastic. So with this we conclude our session, and it's been a very interesting and a lot of informative. It it was been a very informative session, and I have personally carried a lot of information about silver jewelry, as it was Malabar is attending for the first time ever in a silver jewelry conference, and I would carry from here a lot of information back to my company. And thank you so much. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen, and let's have a huge round of applause. What an interesting discussion. And I have one more favor to ask of Mr. Narayanan as the chairperson, the moderator of the session. Sir, may I invite you to please present a memento to each one of our speakers. Let's get starting with Mr. Krishna Goyal, sir. Sir, thank you for joining us. A big thank you to Mr. Amit Modak, sir. A big thank you to Vinayak Dhingra, sir. And of course, Mr. Kinjal Shah. I would now like to invite Mr. Vinay Rao to please join us on the stage to present a memento to Mr. Dileep Narayanan, sir. Gentlemen, may I invite you to please rise up, come forward for a group picture, all of you together. So, ladies and gentlemen, while they pose for their group picture,